Welcome back to another episode of Celebrating Women's Story, where we explore the stories, struggles, and silent victories behind the becoming of real women. Today's conversation is one that speaks straight to the soul, because becoming a woman isn't just about your titles, your achievements, or your business card. It's about the journey of coming back home to yourself. It's about learning to love the reflection of you, even when the world is asking you to change. That's why I'm so honored today to sit with a woman who embodies all of that. Her name is Fije. She's a woman becoming, not just in business, but in wholeness. Her story is one of bold choices, raw self-awareness, and the gentle but powerful act of falling in love with her own body and voice. Today, we're going to be talking about what it means to build a brand and build a sense of self. We'll be talking about body image, entrepreneurship, and self-worth, and the beauty of evolving in public. Whether you're a woman in business, in healing, or in waiting, this one is for you. You're not alone. Your process is valid. Your story is unfolding beautifully. Now, let's meet Fije. So we have Fije.
Hello, everyone. So, Fije is a model, a host, and also an entrepreneur. I'll just leave it there. I don't want to say too much.
Okay, we'll hear more later.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, of course, definitely.
Okay, so Fije,
Yes.
let's say that you were, being born and all, being a woman and all. What would you say your life was before you had to become what the world wants you to become, or what the world feels you should become?
More like what the world shapes me to become.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I was a regular girl, really. I'll say that. I just loved sports and fashion, basically. I wasn't really into the modeling thing. Yes. So that story is for another day. But I'll say I was just living like my regular life. I was just a girl who would always dream of a better life. And subsequently, exposure helped me to start seeing certain things and wanting to become more and wanting more as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I know exposure can tell us a lot of things. So, would you say that, anything had to do with this, apart from exposure, let's say maybe pain, joy, love, or faith, something that's,
Oh, well, I think it came with the struggle.
I'm sure we are all going through that.
Yes, it did. It came with the struggle because I didn't have it all, but people think I did. I didn't have it all, actually. I had to work for it. I'm not at where I'm at today because I was born with a silver spoon or because I had it all together. But, consistency and the grace of God actually helped me to put me where I'm at. So, that's what I can say.
So where are you at now? And
Ah.
how have you been celebrating where you are at this point?
There's this thing that happens when you say, oh, you want more, and then they say you're living in your answered prayers and you don't even realize it till you start looking back at your journal and then you're seeing everything you've gone through.
Yeah.
And you're now recounting. I'm like, oh, I'm actually living in my answered prayers, but we're only humans, and I mean, our wants are insatiable, I would say.
Is there anything that you had to unlearn, to be where you are today?
Oh, yes. I had to stop being overly nice.
Oh, tell me about that one.
I think I was too nice to a fault. And then I would always give people the benefit of doubt. I would give them nine lives like a cat. And, everything would come down to me, to trickle down to me, being hurt at the end of the day, be it for business, friendship. I think I was always taking the shots. But when I realized and I started, you know, acting the same way people always, wanting to treat you or making you feel like, oh, because you're giving to more, because you're nice, they wanted to take advantage. Yeah, they didn't like it either. And I realized that was the best thing for me, especially in the industry where I come from, where I work. You have to do that. If you're overly nice, I'm sorry, you might not get like most of the gigs, or you not even get paid at the end of the day.
Niceness pays, and actually they said, what's
Good
that?
girl,
Good
no
girl, no
reviews.
this.
It does not pay. It does not pay, especially if you want to be a nice mother. Oh my God, they will still use you. They will use you for the most part. Yeah.
Okay, what does wearing your story mean to you?
Wow. Wearing my story, it means strength. It means hope. It means that you can have it all. You can eat your cake and have it.
We always hear you can't eat your cake, you can't eat your
Yes,
cake,
you can
and people
actually
have
eat
been
your
eating
cake.
it and having
You
it.
can eat your cake and have it. The people that have it all out there, they don't have two heads. So trust me, you can always eat your cake and have it. So wearing my story is a symbol of strength, hope, and grace. Because without God, I know that I'll not be where I'm at.
Yes.
Yeah. So He's definitely involved 100% in everything that I do.
Okay, so what do you do at the moment?
So at the moment, see, I'm a Jane of all trades, basically.
Uh, women
Yes.
power.
Yes, I'm a Jane of all trades. But yeah, I don't like to put it all out there. But yes, I do business, I work, I'm also in the entertainment industry. So
Okay. So when did you realize that, oh, this is what I want to do? This, okay, let's say this businesses that you do. When did you say, okay, this is the type of business I want to do? This is the type of, let's say modeling. When did you come to that realization? Because I'm sure you did not, as you said, you didn't
yeah,
start off wanting to be a model. So
yeah.
when did you come to that realization that, okay, this is the path that I want to take? I can build for this.
Okay, so there was a supermodel at the time. I walked into the bank and she saw me. She wanted me to become a model, but I told her I can't. I can't do it. I am an athlete. Like I'd rather be an athlete. I prefer doing sports and all. But she was so keen, and then she left me her card. So I stayed. Why I even called her was because I was bored. I called her to just know what's up. I said, oh, I think I was actually watching something on TV, and then I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should call this lady and see what's going on there. How this modeling thing? I always see girls working. I was like, okay. So I gave her a call, and she was so delighted that I did. So we met up, and I didn't even have shoes for modeling. Honestly, it was that bad. I literally used to use my elder sister's shoes sometimes, or I had one other manager at some point in my life who gave me shoes.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
yeah, it was, I didn't have the proper shoes for modeling at the time. So everything, starts from the ground. And then when you see it bloom, you think like they actually had it all. No, it's not true. People actually work for whatever they have today. And I'll go back to the story of becoming a model today. So, cutting a long story short, I started going for rehearsals. I had my first gig. I think we're even paid in dollars or thereabouts.
That
Yes,
was, that was fast.
it was fast. It was fast. I'll say the grace of God was actually with me. So I was like, is this how it is? Like, this is fast money. And me, of course, any business, anything that has money, my ear is always standing. I like money. So, yes, that's how I started. At some point, it seemed like my career was actually going downhill. Why? Because you know, when you come from a home that they do not believe in stuff like that,
Okay.
becoming a model, yeah. So it was like that, and it discouraged me at some point, and it seemed like instead of modeling, you should just get something else doing.
So
Yes, and I tried it, but I wasn't happy really because modeling seems like fun to me. It's like me having fun. I work and I play. At least every brand that I've worked for can actually testify that I deliver. I don't make the work boring. It doesn't matter the amount of money I'm being paid at the end of the day, but I make sure that I give you premium. And that's because I love what I do.
how would you say that your parents or your family not agreeing to it affected you?
It slowed me down because at the point where I'm supposed to progress, I was taking a step backwards instead of taking a step backwards. And I looked at a few other models that were there in the same scenario where I was actually growing.
Yeah.
I saw how supportive they were. Some of them would buy shoes, some of them would drive them all the way to the spot where they had rehearsals and encourage them, come pick them up, ask them how it's going, find gigs for them if they hear of it. But I came from that home where they just say, there's this stereotype about saying modeling is prostitution.
Yeah.
So it was like that for me. And, I think I fought for what I've become. I fought for it because it wasn't like this. Like I'll hear all sorts of things at home. I used to feel bad. I'll cry sometimes. But I think my break was after I also went for Miss Nigeria. And then yes, African parents.
They
Oh,
said you're going
amazing.
from
Yes. And then they were like,
proud moment.
funny thing is, because of how I already saw how my people, um, how they interpreted modeling, I didn't put in my all when I went for the Miss Nigeria auditions. Funny thing is, I didn't go for the auditions for myself. I had friends who were actually going for the auditions.
Oh.
So I tried to join and just see what it's like.
Yeah.
So I went there and they were like, why audition? And I was like, I'm not here for the audition. They're like, you should try. I said, okay. I said, if we actually date back to that audition video, you will see that I was I was a very jumpy person in that video because to me, I had nothing to lose and I was here to play. So I was just playing with all the props. I was playing with everybody, talking to everyone. I had a jolly good time. And then once I just walked in.
Yeah.
I was actually very confident though. I didn't expect them to call me. So I was like a disciple that they would actually reach out. And I was at my sister's place the day I heard it was over the radio. And they're calling names of people that actually made it. They're calling it at 6 girls that made it out of over almost 300 girls. So when they called my name, I'm like, are you sure it's me? My sister was even the one jumping, and then I was still listening, like, what's going on? And this was like 2 days to camp because the idea was you have to prep your things down. When they call you, you just gather your things and then you go to camp. So I hadn't reached out to any designer. I hadn't prepped myself, nothing. I was still there. And this was 2 days. I was in Port Harcourt and it was happening in Abuja. And then they will actually travel to Lagos for the grand finale.
Yeah.
I was so unprepared. In fact, I don't know how unprepared I can explain it, but I was very, very unprepared. So at that moment, we had to start making calls from that day prior to the next 2 days to travel. It was hectic, but worth it. Actually made beautiful sisters out of that camp that till date, like we're sisters. It was so beautiful for me. It was an eye opener, the exposure, everything that I got. I would say was amazing and I have no regrets.
Wow. So all of this pushed your family to now accept that this is something actually worth doing.
Yes, not just this. I had other memories. I had Dare to Dream. There were these Italian ladies who had come to take us to Milan at the time, and they were scouting for models. Yes, that event also made them, when it's a big break, it's hard for people to actually say no to you.
Yes, true.
Yeah, so they're just saying that, oh, okay, I was striving. It was becoming my reality and I wasn't backing down. So despite their support, I was still pushing through regardless. whether they want to do it or not, I was still doing what I was doing. And another thing that pushed me to modeling was, at the time I was so skinny. I was so skinny. So sometimes, you pass and then they'll call you broomstick, all those kind of things. Sometimes they'll get to me and I don't even know how to react. I still just feel bad. In fact, that story is so funny, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Oh, wow. No, I would say I can relate when it comes to things that have to do with, family not supporting one's
Yeah,
goal. But, it's it feel I can imagine how it feels to
yeah,
have something and you're not getting that full, because most times our family is like our biggest, we want to be
fun.
our biggest fan, so we always want them to cheer us on at every single point. So
Yeah.
wow. So when did you decide to go into, because you're an entrepreneur,
I
when did you decide
am.
to go into entrepreneurship?
Okay, good. So that story. How if I birthed my brand was, I was looking to get a brand that could actually radiate my skin. I didn't want to bleach. I said radiate. And then there was this certain brand, a big brand, I won't mention her name. My friend led me to her and said, oh, that she actually does the job, like she gets the job done.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So we patronized her. And I was even lucky because my friend's skin was complete, my skin damaged like so bad. She burnt my skin and was like, I don't know whatever she used for her products, but it was so bad. So my friend till date still suffers some kind of funny stretch mark thingy. I was
Oh.
even lucky I escaped. I didn't get any of those. So that's why I always I can show off my skin. I mean, so I was tired of the whole brand. Everybody I go to, instead of doing the job, they mix funny stuff for you. So I said, you know what? I'll just look for natural remedies and do what I can. So I started from my kitchen. I started using coconut oil, shea butter, and it was doing the job. I was fine. And then I'll step out sometimes, start trying, and then I'll go try DIY stuff, scrubs, body butter, and then that was my go-to.
Yeah.
So it was working, and then I had people asking, "Oh, what are you using?" I said, "I'm just using it for my skin." And they were like, "No, it's not true." I said, "Truly." Then they were like, "Okay, can you make for me?" This was me doing my thing from my kitchen. I'm like, "I don't do for you; it's just for myself." Someone's like, "I'm going to pay you to do it for me." I said, "Okay, fine." I had money, so I did it. I did it for her.
And
She
the
liked
money
it.
involved.
She came back again. She said she wanted to get for herself, her husband, her kids. The whole family started using it. They started becoming my, number one customers. I stuck to them. Next thing she called me, someone else wants. Then the orders were increasing, and then I'm like, okay. I started trying to focus on problematic skin. So that's when I had to dive into it proper and go for proper training, that could work for anti-aging skin. Also, people that have issues like acne. There's some people who break out. So, of course, yeah. So that was how the brand started growing. At some point, I was scared of how big it was becoming. I'm like, are you sure this is something I could actually handle? But so God be glory. It's
How do
going
you
well so
manage that
far.
with modeling?
Oh my goodness, it's draining and it's not even funny. The PA I even had to work with me the last time, the only person I could actually trust the band to work with me, she had to leave because she had something else doing, something better came for her. So, of course, she had to leave. But it's not been easy. And frankly speaking, I'm trying to see if I could rebrand from our name and everything. The name of my brand is actually My Beauty Plug. I chose that name because it was for me. It was just for me. It was supposed to be a me brand.
We're
Supposed to
supposed to
be,
represent you.
yes, it was just because it was my beauty plug. It was my own beauty plug.
Oh,
And then
yeah, I
people
see.
started patronizing. So that's why I stuck with that name for a while. But the brand has grown, and I feel like that story they might not be able to relate at some point. Yeah. So I feel like we're going to shift that name For now, I think our page we haven't even posted like in a month or two. That's because there's some underground work coming on. But we're going to
Can't wait
pick
for
up.
the rebrand.
Yes, please, please, please patronize us at my beauty.
Definitely. Okay, so let's say that, or rather, how has entrepreneurship been? Because you started this brand as something fun you were doing at home just for
Mhm,
yourself.
mhm.
Now you are actually making this for people. How has it been handling that?
Well, I'm going to be frank with you. It's not fun.
I
It's not
know,
fun.
I know.
It's hard. Like it's so hard. But we just have to like no one gives a damn about how you do it. They just deliver. That's all they care about, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yes. So that's what happens oftentimes. And I'm trying to shuffle. I'm bending. The sacrifices I've made for it: sleepless nights, researches, trainings. I'm doing a lot for you guys. For you guys to know.
She's putting a lot of soul in it.
My blood, my sweat, my body and soul, my sleep. I don't even get, but these days I barely get up to 4 or 5 hours sleep. Yeah, because I'm shuffling. If I'm not modeling, I'm delivering something, or I'm hosting, or I'm trying to sell a property or something. Something is always up with me. Things I'm not like this. You can never catch me like this.
Thank you for being here today. Thank
Yes.
God we caught her like this today. We caught her like this today.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So is there any challenge properly that you have, encountered as an entrepreneur? Because let's say for me, I'm terrible at finance and it has been a huge problem for me.
That one is there.
So what are the challenges that you have encountered in the beauty business?
Okay, so yes, I encounter finance issues sometimes. And then another huge challenge as a skincare brand. You know, my brand is not just focused on skincare, yeah? We also do hair,
Yeah.
yeah, and makeup as well. So that would be getting my product sometimes, trying to get my package, what I'm trying to ship down. It can be so exhausting when I want to get those materials to work. They don't come in time sometimes. Probably I have a close bulk order coming soon and
Yeah.
I can't deliver at the time. It is so draining. Other times they give you story. If you're lucky, it would arrive. If it doesn't, sometimes it's lost at sea. Another thing is, yes, you said finances. Sometimes to manage it, separating that money sometimes when the price goes up, you know that your personal money goes into it, and then sometimes be like, who cares? And then you just mix everything up just to survive, and then it's like you're starting again from the scratch, building again. And another thing is getting a lot of clients outside the box. I feel like oftentimes brands have like clients that just in a box, is in a circle. So I'm aspiring for my brand to be out there. I like that my brand is actually international right now. I like people outside UK, US order my brand, and that makes me so happy. But I don't want 3, 4 orders. I want
For
you know what I'm
others.
saying? Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So that's a challenge as well.
I'm sure that as a young entrepreneur, most of us are dealing with that,
Yes.
especially in where we are. We're
Mm-hmm.
not naming where we are, but where we are, like
Yes.
this
This
particular.
era.
So yes, it's a thing that we're all having to deal with. So what would you say is like your, will I say, grace story?
My great story. Hmm. How would I put that now? Okay. So my great story. Well, I think it all started from the Miss Nigeria. Yeah. Because the kind of people I met there and the network, the connection, the bond we had, and then the kind of brands I've worked with. It's not just one. There are a few of them, but I would say those brands are like my great story. They open doors for me in ways people cannot even imagine.
How has your business changed you as a person?
Ah, my business changed me in a way. In fact, my business is my baby.
I can relate to that one.
Yes, I'm not married and I don't have a child right now to be thinking like that, but my business makes me do that. And then anything I do, I have to think, okay, my business. It's like my business now comes first. So it has shaped me in ways that I can't even imagine. I didn't even know that things like this were actually involved. You're like, oh, here. So it
What
has
about
really
modeling?
helped me. Oh yes, modeling too. I think it has always been like that for me. For some models, I think like they actually struggle. But one thing I always hear on sets, on every set I go to, oh, she's a natural. So yes, it just comes naturally, and I just do as
You were born to do this.
I was born to do this. I know. Now I'm just imagining, oh, what if I actually declined and declined at the end of the day not to take these gigs and not become a model at the end of the day? I'm wondering where else I would actually channel the energy because I, for one, yes, I've always loved fashion in any form it comes. Anything you give to me, I would find a way to, work with it. So, and I'm just thinking some days like, if I didn't have like, or if the fashion industry didn't exist, what exactly? I'd have probably been like, an artist, painting.
Painting.
Yes.
Okay. So, who would say that it was the model that you met that pushed you to modeling?
Yes, that was the starting point. But you know that when you're doing something, there's always a level. Now, I think she played her part and then someone else came through. I had some other manager who actually drilled me. During those catwalk classes, we used to catwalk at the edge of a pool with books on our head. Tyron, I hope you get to see this. It was brutal. We'll have books on our head. We'll have to walk like on a very slim edge of a pool, and you have to do it properly. If the book falls into the pool, you have to start all over.
Wow.
He doesn't care if you're going to fall right into the pool. Get it done. And then I'm like, is this how it's supposed to be? But guess what? It shaped me more than you can ever imagine. At some point, I was training. I became a coach myself. And then when people actually like when they're rating like top five, that's why, and then I'm in it, and I'm like, have I gotten there? Really? But then that's the thing with training. You keep doing it and you don't know when you're there. So yeah, it really shaped me. Thank you, Tyrone.
So, would you say that you were at any point afraid to start? That's why you didn't get into it before you had that push, or was it just that you were totally not interested in it?
Okay, yeah. So this is actually for every other person that will be listening or an aspiring model out there. When you want to start, it's scary. Why? Because you've not been there and you don't know what it's like. You don't know what you need. You don't know the tools you need to actually push through. So I was also thinking in my head, to become a model, you need like a lot of things. Oh, yes, you do. But then when you're starting, baby steps,
Yeah.
baby steps. Start with whatever you have, and then God will see you through. He will help you. So that's what happened with me. I didn't have it all, but I was scared. I was thinking I needed to have a complete. It's just like you wanting to start makeup as a makeup artist, and then you think like you need the entire products in the world before you start. No, start with what you have, and then it's a gradual process.
Yeah, you keep
And you
growing.
start. You buy one ring light, next is two, is three. That's what. Then everything starts coming together.
Exactly. So, what would you say success means to you now compared to what it meant to you like maybe 5 years or 10 years ago before you even started modeling? What would you say? Would you say you have, in quote, maybe have attained success to an, or do you think that success is a different thing right now?
Well, I won't say I've attained it. If you're at the sky, you can always go higher.
True.
So for me, my definition of success is consistency because you keep going, you keep showing up, you're doing it, you're seeing it, they're calling you. So
Exactly.
yeah, success for me is consistency. So you keep going, you keep progressing. So it's a progress.
So, what is your relationship with your body growing up and now?
Okay.
The slim girl.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So growing up, yeah. When you walk on the road and then they're like, guys, it's all this small ash.
Oh my god.
And then oh your neck.
Oh, so you were very slim.
I was so skinny. And at some point in time, I think like secondary school days though, I tried when I had a bit of peace of mind. I gained a little bit of weight, but then I came back again to being skinny after secondary school. Um, I spent a lot of money, time, effort trying to gain weight because I wanted to prove to the world I could be big. When I got to the university, I had this friend, and all we ever dreamed of was how to gain weight. Sometimes we'd actually buy a coat that is times two our size because we're having the hope of gaining weight so we can wear that dress. And then when we're just saying, be like, when we gain weight, this is what's gonna happen. This is how we're going to. When you come out, you just open the door. Everybody's going to look at you and say, "Who's that big girl?" So sometimes in my head, I became delulu about how I've gained weight. This was me, skinny, but then I would look in the mirror, and to me, I was delusional. I saw myself I'd gained weight, so I started carrying myself in that kind of way, like I was a big girl.
Wow. You really wanted to gain weight.
I did. See, I have spent money, some kind of amount of money, I don't want to even say on camera, to gain weight. There was even one particular one I ordered from Lagos. Why? Because they used a celebrity to advertise it, and the celebrity was big. And I said, oh, okay, this will work. I didn't know that all those things were just PR for a brand. I spent money. This is hundreds of thousands I'm talking about. So I bought this product. And then if I was supposed to, God just gave me second chance. Like I want to say God has given me more than second chance in my life. More than like I'm literally a cat because all the things I've taken to gain weight, if they were supposed to kill me, I don't know where I'll be right now.
Oh.
I did so much just because I wanted to prove to the world that I, I could actually be different or my body could actually be different. Well, my mom has made me realize that. She said, your body is like that of your grandmom's and you can't change it. It's just like that and you have to live with it. It doesn't mean every other person in my house is skinny, but that's how I grew. I grew like the guys, and then I have my sisters who grew up same, but this is me at the end of the day, and I've learned to accept my body, and it's bringing me money. So,
So would you say it's when your body started bringing you money, you started becoming more confident in your body?
not really, not really. I think I just grew. I grew up. I grew up. Yeah, I grew up, and I realized that there are some things that can't be changed. You just have to accept it. So I just learned to accept my body, and I started dressing for my own body type, and voila, that was
Now
it.
the body is bringing a lot of money.
Yeah. Although some days you're still doubting yourself and you're like, can't I just gain a bit of weight? But other days, yeah, I just love it. But then, yes, right now I love it.
Okay, that's good. That is really good because a lot of people get insecure and still feel like, oh, they need to be like this. As you said, you know, people then will be telling you how your body is, and that's whole. I had a point in my life to where I felt like, oh, my body was a particular way, and now I'm adding weight, and I'm like, why am I adding so much weight? Why am I adding so much weight? 1 minute you're a size 8, and the next minute you're going to 10, and I'm wondering, what am I eating?
Yeah.
But there was a time where moving from a size 6 to 8 was so difficult, and I was wishing to move.
Yeah.
But now I am not even thinking about it. I'm trying to even remain a size 8, but it's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
So
I know.
appreciating your body and accepting that there are some things exactly that you can't change.
Yeah, you can.
So yes, I really understand that part. So what triggered, you know, as you said, you grew up. But was there anything in particular that, told you or made you stop buying those things or start loving yourself more?
Okay, I think the modeling, yes, was a part of it. The fact that my statistics was like the most wanted at the time. Like they're looking for that body shape to actually go and they're like, oh, she's slim and she's curvy. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing good stuff. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
when that continued and then, I started showing up having jobs and all of that. I'm like, if this body can actually pay, why can't I just rock it? I mean, the fashion industry, also helps me with that confidence. And yeah, that's it.
Hmm. So I should go and look for something that will pay.
You can actually still model. I mean, now there are different sizes of models. Now they're not actually drawn to just like the normal size 6 or 8 model size. Now almost everyone is a model. I have a friend, she's on the big side, but she's doing amazing in the industry. And I'm so everywhere I see her, I cheer her on because that's so beautiful.
Yeah. Accept your body.
Accept your body.
Any type of body that you have is your
Don't
model.
don't be big and then you lose weight and then only your head is remaining.
So how do you now express like confidence, your softness, and your presence?
Hmm. I express it through the way I dress. Yeah, it helps me. The way I dress can actually tell you my mood, can tell you how I feel, and yeah, my expressions with people that also tells you my softness. Yeah.
So how would you say, as you said, the way you dress can tell what your mood is.
Yeah.
So how would you say that you said that fashion has played a huge role in your identity?
Yeah. It has because I'm a very creative person. I don't like to be stuck on one thing or I don't like to jump on trends. I like to create my own fashion. So whatever it is that you give to me, I can always create something beautiful out of it. I don't have to dress like because this particular thing is trendy and everybody's gonna wear that. No, I would just do as I please. If it's actually trending and I like it, yes, I can wear it, but not because everyone is wearing it. Some people don't know how to pair those things because they're just jumping on trends.
Yeah.
Don't just jump on trends. Look at your body type. Know if it goes with
Because
you. Like let it resonate with you before you can
you can
actually.
wear it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you ever compare yourself to another person?
When I was very skinny, yes, I used to, but now I walk into a room full of confidence. I mean, I would actually put you down when I walk in.
That's power.
Yes,
That's
girl.
power.
That's power.
Walking into a room and feeling like you're the only one there.
That's how I always feel now. So, yeah. Funny thing is, I've not always felt like bad with my confidence. My confidence has always been there, but you can't even tell back then with me thinking in my head, am I so skinny? I remember then I'll be asking my sister if I just see a particular girl, maybe she's a bit bigger or skinny, and I want to be sure if that's the size I'm actually, if that's my size, I'll be like, yes, this girl, who's fatter? I want to just tell me, no, she's fatter than you. I'll be like, oh, damn it. I have to go and walk. I have to go and look away. But now I don't even care about all those. Nah. Everybody is beautiful just the way they are. You're
Exactly.
big, you're small, you're fat, you're slim. I mean,
You're beautiful.
you're beautiful.
What would you say to a woman still trying to shrink? Still trying to get people to love her for A or B. It could be for her body, it could be for her confidence or her mindset or whatnot.
Okay. I'll tell her to go back to kindergarten.
Why?
Yes, I will. But you know what? That's me being too mean. I'll just be realistic. Stop. It's never too late. You can start today. Love yourself. Look in the mirror, speak to yourself. Whatever it is that's making you feel that way, let it go. Get over it. This it. Just see yourself as a new person, as a newborn, and you're taking these baby steps right now to realizing who you really are, unlock your potential, you know, do fun things for yourself. You know, when people actually stay on their own, a lot of things go through their minds.
Sure.
And there's something people don't know, that a social life is so important.
Oh,
A lot
wow.
of people miss out on
I
that.
think I am.
You're number one.
Yes.
Yes.
Social life. I realized that yesterday. I think I was here alone yesterday. I was home alone. I'm like, why are you always alone? What are you always doing in the house alone? You get so bored sometimes. I am somebody that enjoys my own company. I can watch a movie, I can do anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, there are days that you just, need people around.
That's right.
When you mingle with people, you feel a bit fresher and you come back. Yes, there are days that you have the energy. Like, let's say yesterday, I had the energy to mingle. There are days I don't have the energy to mingle.
Thanks.
So the days that you have the energy to mingle, you can go out there and mingle and feel alive a little bit.
In as much as I'm very, goofy and playful and all of that, there are days that I'm actually very introverted. And then if you meet me on the first day, you actually think I'm actually introverted, but I'm not. Yes, we have days when our social batteries are actually like really down. It's fine. We're only human, and it happens.
Yeah.
But then don't make it a lifestyle, because you get depressed. I've been there. There is a time I actually withdrew from everything. I'm going to say this: 9 to 5 is such. In fact, it's the fastest killer. A
Wow.
9 to 5 job, I will tell you for free, because all you think of is you just want to get a job, you just want to achieve your goals and hit your targets, come home, you want to rest. You're heading home, you're already thinking of how you're coming out tomorrow. She gets.
Yeah.
So the best way I advise people with 9 to 5, like myself, I would say on the weekends, don't play with your weekends, man. Go out if you can. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't say, I'm going to be too tired. Some people will be thinking, it's all going to be bills and bills, bills and bills. Yes, it might be bills and bills, but sometimes make it worth it. It doesn't have to be every weekend. Now do it once a month. That makes sense. No one is asking you to go to the most expensive spots. You can decide to do minimal or do something with friends, do in-house games. There are lots of things to actually, keep your nerves alive. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Fije, for
Thank you,
this amazing time with you.
Thank you.
It was really nice to have Fije sit with us today and tell us a little bit of herself, because she did not give us details today. We're going to bring her back again. She needs to give us details.
I will.
More in-depth details. But today we had Fije sit with us and tell us her story, how fashion has, helped her build, and how modeling has also helped her build her confidence from being a skinny girl to being a skinny girl with confidence now.
Yes.
So if you are there and wishing to be fatter, slimmer, whatnot, Fije is telling you today that you can be your best self in whatever body that you have. You are still a model.
Yes.
You don't have to be fat, skinny, short. You can be a model at any point.
If you feel awful, work out.
Thank you.
Work out. If you're skinny, work out. If you're fat, work out. Trust me.
And I would say that exercise doesn't only make you lose weight. It makes you build your confidence.
Exactly. So it helps you. It keeps your antenna up, and then it helps your body. You're agile. So it does help. Actually, it's not basically just to lose weight. You can just take a walk. You can just do maybe a 400-meter walk and back, and you feel amazing.
Exactly. So thank you, Fije, for your amazing story.
Thank you.
We will be creating a design inspired by Fije's story of confidence. her
Oh
confidence
my
growth.
goodness.
So we'll be creating a design inspired by Fije's confidence, and we'll be showing you guys that design in the next video. Keep watching.